to the weird awards, the strangest awards here. Coach of the year, really weird one this year. We're going to talk about sixth man in a second, and then most improved. But for coach of the year, tell me who your top three are, why, and what was your criteria?
A lot of it, I think, has to be looking at where the team was last year and where they finished this year. Improvement, 1 year difference. I think the obvious ones are the Suns, probably the Jazz, Quinn Snyder, Monty Williams for the Suns, and then I had for my third one was Tibbs for the Knicks, because as we talked about earlier, we both didn't. That was the one team we didn't have in the playoff picture, really, and of the main upper seeds. So what he did, and it's always good to see the Knicks be good at basketball. I think I enjoy it.
I don't care.
enjoy liking the Knicks.
I don't care.
They're at least in the playoff.
I don't. Why are they worth so much more? Just because they're in New York? I know they have a bigger market, so their local games get better ratings. I mean, I've been watching a lot of NBA games this season on the NBA League Pass. They always get Mike Breen. They get Ian Eagle. They always get the best broadcasters, so they have the best money. And I'm watching the Knicks. Even the Knicks aren't fun to watch this year. I could not turn too many Knicks games on unless I wanted to see what Randall was doing. Quigley is fun to watch too, but no, I don't need the Knicks to be good.
But that's why he was number 3 on my list, okay?
Fine. I like Tibbs. Big Tibbs fan, though. Yeah. Big Tibbs fan.
And I think of those 3, I would probably say Monty Williams is my easy pick. You started to see it in the bubble last year with them going 8-0. Yeah, you get Chris Paul, but I don't think he's the only reason that they have the second best record in the NBA right now. A lot of it has to do with coaching style and the way he assessed that team with a few of the transitions in the offseason, but their drafts the last 2 years too as well.
You know what I think we should do? We should turn coach of the year into all coach team. Just we get to pick 5
coaches.
I think there's a lot of good coaches. I mean, 5 out of 30. What kind of dumb award is that in the first place? But whatever, it's a dumb award anyways. Oh gosh, I'm gonna forget his name. Pistons coach, help me out. Oh my gosh.
Wait, the current Pistons coach?
Current Pistons coach used to coach for the Raptors. Oh good gosh, what's his name? Nobody luck. Coulter, think of it quick. Pistons coach. Once you go to the Pistons, everyone forgets. It's Dwayne Casey. Dwayne Casey won coach of the year for the Raptors.
And then got fired.
And then Nick Nurse won a championship. So it's a stupid award. But with that being said, yeah, Monty Williams ran away with it this year. Probably the biggest jump, other than maybe the Knicks for expectations. But I mean, the Suns weren't even in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
they haven't been for the last 14 years.
Yeah, and he was the coach last year, sure. So we could say it's the Chris Paul effect, and it probably mostly is. But the cohesion of all the players has been very impressive. Ayton's been taken off. Mikal Bridges has taken off. That team was terribly coached in the past, so great hire. He picked the Suns over the Lakers. That was probably his worst move at the time, but whatever. I think he picked the Suns before AD joined. Kyle, check that back. Anyways, wrong podcast. But no, he's been great. I'm rambling. Second, I have Tibbs actually, so I agree there. Quinn Snyder's been great as well. I mean, nobody had the Jazz in the top 3 this year. That team has tons of talent, though, so they probably should be in the top 4, honestly. So I liked him a lot, too. Any else? I've got 2 other people I want to shout out.
You could definitely put Steve Nash there.
Okay.
He's had to deal with a lot of turnover. I think that I heard a stat that they had 25 players play this year or something like that. And that's 2 full rosters. So the fact that they have a top 3 possibly record in the East is pretty impressive. They do have the star power, but adding, Blake Griffin and Marcus Aldridge decided to stay for a weekend, and I think he should get some credit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Wasn't even going to bring him up. Just put Bruce Brown. He's not like changing the game, but the idea of using a guard-ish player in the dunking spot is actually amazing because we just call it the dunker spot. So it's in the low corner spot while someone's driving to the rim. We want to get the help defense to come over, and then you got the alley-oop over the top. Yeah. No one realized that almost every player in the NBA can make an alley-oop. 80% of them can. So why does it have to be a center all this time? And of course, it's Steve Nash and probably D'Antoni that realized it. So good pick there. I was going to shout out Doc Rivers. Really slept on considering I think the Sixers were 6th last year. And now they beat out the Bucks and the Nets.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing I'd say about Nash is he's got all the talent in the world besides the top 3, but they've been gone a lot, so it's a great point. And then Nate McMillan, one of my favorite coaches. What was the stat? Oh, dang, I can't remember it right now. But the Hawks had like a losing record before him, and now they have they had a losing record before Nate McMillan. Now they have like a 68% win percentage. That is just about the best in the league. I think maybe just the Jazz and the Suns have a better
even
overall
with all the
record.
Injuries that they've had.
Yeah, Trae Young missed a lot.
Bogdanovich,
but to be fair, Bogdanovich came back after right when Nate McMillan was joining, so that's kind of one reason.
DeAndre Hunter.
Hawks weren't good. Yeah,
came back and then got hurt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but he's been great. John Collins is playing amazing since McMillan took over. So, payday for him. But yeah, that'd be my coaching team. I think I might leave Nash out. He might sneak in there somehow.
Yeah, you brought some good points. I didn't even think about Nate McMillan, but now they say that, I do think that they've been on a hot streak since he became their coach.
Watch out.
Yeah, I think them versus potentially, I think they might face the Knicks. Looks like
we were trying to think of storylines for Knicks Hawks. Might be Thibodeau versus McMillan.
Yeah,
might be the best we have. I mean, Trae Young versus Randall. They both feel slighted too. But yeah, I like that. All right. Why don't we move to 6 man? Weird award. I don't know. I wish we could come up with a cooler award, but you got to give the bench player some recognition. As a great 6 man player yourself, Coulter, you had that. Who was that game in high school? You came off the bench and just lit it up. What game was that? I don't even remember. I'm sure you do.
Oh, versus Glacier. It was the only time I got minutes that I barely played.
Okay, well, I was just going to leave that out, but it was a great game. So
season high.
Why don't you take it?
Game winner.
Oh yeah. Okay, you take it.
6 man. I didn't. This was probably the one that I at least prepared for because I thought it's probably going to go to one of the insert Jazz name player.
Mm-hmm.
But a few other players that put up good numbers last year. 6 man. Montrezl Harrell put up just about the same numbers. Yes, the Lakers had a bunch of injuries, but he put up just as good numbers. And he still came off. You could probably, injuries aside, Kuzma could have probably been up there. I don't know. And then let's see who the other person was.
You said Jazz players, Jordan Clarkson, Joe Ingles.
Yep. I think Chris Boucher probably started too many games towards the end of the year to be considered, but I know he was up there last year.
That's a good one.
But yeah, who do you have?
Well, it seems like the 6 man of the year award has been changing so much because now all the best players, for the most part, do start the game because coaches have figured out and teams have figured out you could just start your best players and then rotate them out. I mean, you'll see Chris Paul will come out at like the 8-minute mark in the game. D-Book will run the show for a while, and then Chris Paul will come back. D-Book will leave. and they'll keep doing things like that. Similar situation with, LeBron and AD. LeBron leaves at, I think, the 9-minute mark, takes over for a while. Then I think he leaves again in the second quarter, the 8-minute mark. So a lot of little examples like that. So the league's really changing where we're not getting too many 6-man of the year candidates anymore. But I have Jordan Clarkson at number 1. I have Derrick Rose as well. He's probably been the best transaction of the year because the Knicks took off a little bit more on offense since he joined. He's only played 52 games this year, but he has came off the bench for 49 of them. And then I have Joe Ingles at 3rd. He is 3rd in offensive efficiency. Kyle, check that. He's been really good. 3s, 2s, creates a lot of offense. But I think Jordan Clarkson should win it. I might be a little stereotypical because he's kind of like the Jordan Clarkson, Lou Will mode, where he just comes off and scores like crazy. But that's exactly what the team needs. Yeah. So every year I want to pick Jordan Clarkson, but this year he's provided a scoring punch they needed. I mean, you could also go with Ingles because he's creating a lot of offense for him. But I like the Montrezl Harrell pick too. I didn't think about him. He's been really good.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing a lot of the second units, I guess they call now, run with 1 or 2 of the starters stay in and just they swap rotations. So it's becoming a more interesting award. I thought about maybe putting Campazzo up there.
He was good.
I know he started since the Jamal Murray injury, but he was very good in that second unit for Denver before the Murray injury.
If Ginobili and Odom were still around today, they'd be starting.
Yeah.
I don't know. They can come back. Maybe that'd make them happy.
What about crossover?
No, I think he'd still be in the Jordan Clarkson.
I think he'd still come off.
Yeah, but he closed games a lot, so he'd be okay with that. He should be in the league, by the way. He should be. He was on the Nets last I heard of. Anyway, most improved. I like this award, actually. It's a little subjective, but I think it's better than 6-man of the year. But there's a lot of debate with this one. There's a lot of opinions in here, a lot of different criterias. Let me take it first because I feel very passionate about this player for most improved. Been ringing his bell. I know you like him a lot. You say he was the best pick of the 2019 draft, 2018. He missed a year. He missed a year, so 2018. Second? When did he go?
He was a one and done.
No. What pick?
Oh, 14.
14, that late?
He was the last pick of the lottery.
But I think he was projected to be 2.
Yeah, but he had back injuries. He only played 3 games in college. So kind of the Kyrie style college career, but a lot more health issues because of his size.
Yeah, so we're talking about Michael Porter Jr. of the Denver Nuggets. On previous pods, I talked about how Michael Malone better get this guy off the bench. It didn't last long, but Michael Malone thought he better teach this young player a lesson because he's not playing good enough defense on the Nuggets, who were terrible at the time. So he's kind of signaling him out in some tough love and other nonsense coaching strategies that I'm not always a fan of. Same thing happened with LaMelo Ball. But once both of those players were inserted into the lineups, they both took off. But Michael Porter Jr., his jump from last year, he went from 9 points per game to 19 points per game, and he is getting 3 more rebounds this year. He was at a 59% effective field goal rate last year, which was in the top 20-ish in the league. Now he's at 64.7%. That is in the top 10, excuse me. Which is absolutely insane because, again, it's with players that can dunk the ball, with centers, with Zions, with Rudy Gobert's, with Clint Capellas, and then this guy who hardly gets dunks. He shoots the 3 ball like crazy. He finishes at the rim like crazy. Huge huge. I mean, he's just like another Kevin Durant in the future. Honestly, he doesn't have the handles of KD yet, but he's absolutely insane. He knows how to play off of Jokic, which not all a lot of players can, but he cuts well. Smart player, still learning his spots a little bit. I was watching pick and roll back. No, sorry. He was doing a back cut off of a pick and roll earlier in the play, and he read it a little bit wrong. So he's still learning with it being only a second year in the league. But no one's talking about him, and he's good enough to be the second best player on a contending title team, in my opinion.
Yeah, and especially since the Murray injury, he's upped his game even further. I think he's since then averaging almost 25 points a game, and he's the reason they've stayed in playoff, in the playoff seeding that they are. I didn't even think of him until you said that. So once you look at those stats, I'd say he's got to be the front runner.
The media won't give him any love. The media won't. They like looking at those second, third year players, and he kind of had an abbreviated season with the season was already abbreviated, but he was dealing with some injuries last year, so he might not have seen his full potential. But he wasn't scoring 19 in the playoffs. I think he was in double digits. He was the third option. Still kind of is, and I still like Jamal.
He
more
had
than
that
him.
one game where he scored 30, I think, in that.
The
Clippers series, but we saw the flashes, but he's everything. He's reaching, and I still think he has higher to go, but he's reaching that potential that everyone hyped him on in high school for sure.
The Nuggets want to trade him for James Harden, we believe. I don't think they were willing to trade him for Bradley Beal. I might disagree with their strategy, but he's that good.
Yeah.
We think he can reach that level quick.
Yeah, I think if Murray comes back next year, I mean, the way they were playing, I probably would have had them as a heavy favorite.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
A couple other people that I think the media is a little maybe more savvy on. I know Julius Randle's getting a lot of love. You don't like that pick.
I'll talk about it in a second.
I know I was looking at people, and before the injury, I know De'Aaron Fox was another person.
That one was really good. Top 15 PR.
Shea Gildress was another one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But a lot of injuries for those two this year, and kind of on bad teams. So I don't know if you.
Yeah, I like those two if they played more.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox has been really good on bad team. So same with SGA. Let me take Randle for a second. Let me get on my soapbox. Julius Randle didn't just become good overnight. He's on a better situation. He is scoring 5 more points per game this year and 24 points compared to 19 last year. But that isn't a huge jump. He's creating a little bit more on offense, but not by much. He is playing 5 more minutes a game in a team that's more suited to his needs. It's the Thibodeau effect and the defense effect, and just some progression with their young players. And it's not just the Randle effect. So it's nice that they put Randle as like as a symbol for the Knicks improvement, but I think they should look at him for all NBA or even all defense. I don't know if he should make both, but one or the other. I had him on both. But most improved, I don't think that's right. Go back to when AD demanded a trade on the Pelicans. Randle took off. I forgot to look up the stats, but it was similar to what he's doing now and what he was doing last year.
That year he was up for most improved player.
Yeah, I thought that was the year he should have been considered. Not this year. He might win it, but that's the one I'll call out. It's Michael Porter Jr. You called out some good names. I only wrote one name down. Yeah. I've been on MPJ for a long time. Liked him a lot. You had him on your fantasy team. I was mad. I tried to get him from you, if you remember. I tried to do like a Jeremy Grant / sweetener deal. You didn't fall for it. Congrats. Yeah. I should have upped the ante.
Him, SGA, and De'Aaron Fox that's I think probably why I paid attention to those three because they were all on my fantasy team this year. But
Yeah, you drafting young and upcoming players.
that's what I do every year.
But those are the awards. We should probably come up with some wacky awards. Best like
Some
bench presence. I would like that
PAP
one.
awards.
Best dressed. I don't know. I always pay attention to what Russ is wearing.
Yeah,
I can't tell
Russ
if I
is-
hate it or love it.
Russ is always showing out though on the pregame
Yeah,
outfits.
I like that he doesn't do the same thing.
I like
but
SGA.
I also don't
I
like
think
what
he does. He's got some good stuff.
SGA, okay. Chris Paul's interesting. LeBron always has some funny hat.
Yeah.
I think there's a funny hat award. I think LeBron would, be the MJ of funny hats.
All right.
Yeah.
So for next season we'll have our own pizza and picks
Ooh.
awards.
We might have to do that at the end of one of our podcasts.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We gotta
Yeah.
workshop it.
Maybe for the playoffs we'll have our PAP awards for the playoffs.
Okay. All right. Stay tuned.